and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're jumping down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on in the charts and what we think might actually happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not consider subscribing, tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications, and you'll stay up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so well worth checking it out. In the description down below, you'll find a whole host of additional links. We've recently partnered up with 𝗕𝗬𝗀𝗃 and to give yourself some exclusive offers for the Cheeky community, so that's in the description below. You'll find things like Ledger as well, with fantastic stuff going on with the hardware wallets from Ledger, so well worth checking those out. We've got the community-led podcast, we've got 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧, there's a whole host of different things down there. Check them out, and yeah, so if anything is interesting to you guys, why not give it a click and see where it takes you. Okay, let's get into this, right? So Cardano's ADA paired up with USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is the data source. So following on from our last Cardano video, we do have our structure to the downside. So we're talking 5-wave structure here, just taking us down to this fib area. Basically, we're talking 1.236 to 1.618, or if you prefer that in dollars or USDT, specifically, we're talking about 44.59 to 45.53 cents. Okay, so that's basically where we're talking. Now, this is a 5-wave drop, and we look at the structure of everything that's gone on here. We have 3 waves up from the previous 5-wave drop. Okay, and we're starting to think maybe this is the beginning of the next leg. Okay, we are looking for a minimum of a zigzag, but it looks like we might end up here with 53535, taking us down a little bit deeper. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's go ahead and just zoom in on this move for now. Okay, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Now, where we are with this, so we can see as we come into this low range just over here, you can see this wick just coming a little bit lower than our 1.236. This technically means that this could be complete. This could be done, and we don't have to come down to this kind of lower range of 44.59. However, it's important that we also reflect on the structure of what's going on in here, okay, because this might mean that we have to come down a little bit lower. So as we kind of reflect on this, we can kind of see several big moves that are overlapping in the way that they're forming. If anything, this is telling us that we're ending with this kind of ending diagonal structure instead of a kind of standard impulsive 5-wave structure that you might expect to see. For those who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, basically we're expecting 5 waves inside the 5th wave, okay? But in a diagonal, you actually have an overlapping structure. So if I grab hold of my 5 waves again, we can kind of see we have this kind of area maybe around here of 1, this being wave 2, we move down somewhere and maybe in wave 3 here, we come up, we might overlap with wave 1 with our wave 4, and then we move down into the final 5th wave. And the way this is usually kind of comprised, and again, this could actually be from over here, it could be anywhere, right? We don't necessarily know exactly where that's going yet. But essentially, our 5-wave structure are basically being made up of 3-wave structures, okay? So rather than it being 5-3-5-3-5, you end up with 3-3-3-3-3, but it is a 5-wave structure, and it only appears in wave 1 or in wave 5, okay? So those are kind of the rules behind what we're looking for. But considering how much overlap there is going on here, the fact that we have hit already into our lower expectations, if we're going to have to go down a little bit lower, it's not going to be massive in my opinion, until we start to talk about that bounce upwards, okay? So I do think that we're going to see some kind of move up before we continue our move to the downside, okay? So I'm going to grab hold of this local high point just up here, and I'm going to take this line, and I'm just going to throw it up here, and I'm also going to remove this one. We don't need that one anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that off the charts. Arguably, we don't need this one, so we'll remove that. We'll remove the fibs. We'll remove this line down here as well for now. Okay, we'll leave We're going to move this one, I think, down here, and we'll leave that one down there as well. Okay, perfect. So let's now kind of reflect on what's going to happen afterwards. Okay, so once we do move to this downside, which I do think is likely, let's just check the stochastic here. Okay, so this is our momentum indicator. We're quite high on this momentum indicator. We can come up, we can come down, but there's a lot more room to the downside here, which means that we're going to run out of momentum to the upside reasonably quickly if we were to rally up, or we can just continue this down and we come to this oversold area. Okay, and so on our hourly chart, chart, we're looking for downward price action, but not much, but a little bit. On the 4-hourly, we're already there. We can already see that we're down in this oversold area on the fast line. That's the dark blue. The orange line here, this actually has a little bit longer to go. So again, we'll talk about moving down a little bit lower towards 44.59, and that's supported here on the 4-hourly chart as well. On the 8-hour, we're fine. We're in a good spot. And the daily chart, guys, we're also in a reasonably good spot. So I think we're going to see some kind of move to the upside. On the weekly, obviously, we need to go down. We knew we need to go down on the weekly time frame. That's not going to be anything unusual if you follow the live streams and things that we do talk about. So knowing that we kind of have this area, we're looking for a little bit more of a move to the downside, finish off our 5th wave, and then we're going to be looking for 3 waves up. Let me get rid of the stocks. And then basically I'm looking for 3 waves up, okay? So from this low range, we're going to be looking for something substantial, but not too much. Somewhere probably between 50 and 88.2% retracement of this entire structure. So as I come up to the higher range, pull this down, I'm going to kind of put this on that 44.59, but obviously this is going to be subject to change of wherever we actually end up completing that 5th wave. But for now, I'll leave it there. Our 50% level comes in here at 48.35. Okay, and then our I don't know if I can move that whilst I go. Yeah, we can. And then on the higher side, we're just talking about this level here, 51.42. And I don't know if I can get that. It's going to be hovering around that kind of area there. So basically we end up with this. Let me delete that. We end up with this little range here. I'm going to also delete that off there. Okay, so we end up with this yellow box. This basically symbolizing our kind of 3-wave structure point. We're going to be somewhere in that range. Okay, let me go ahead and just add a couple of price labels here. And I'm going to adjust this to 42 because that's the correct number. And I'm going to also just pull this onto here and we'll grab that 5, which is the correct number as well. Okay, so 48.35 to 51.42. That's the bounce that I'm looking for. That means that our stochastic RSI will move up on the hourly, the daily, the 8-hour, the 4-hour, and the hourly chart itself. They'll all move up, right? And the hourly, the 4-hourly, the 8-hourly, they might bounce around a little bit on that journey to the upside. But I imagine that the daily chart will go straight from oversold to overbought in a kind of straightish line, whereas on our kind of smaller time frames, we'll see more fluctuations. So we'll probably see a very clear 3-wave structure on the 8-hour chart and the daily chart, for example. On the 4-hourly, we might see ourselves with a 3-wave structure here. We might see another one just in here, for example. We'll see another one in here. And basically, as we come down into the hourly, we might then start to see there's actually 3 waves in there, for example. And you'll start to slowly break it down and go down into deeper levels. But for the most part, it's going to be a 3-wave structure on the higher time frames. And once this is done, once we have this up here, we're going to be talking about that next big move, that next one to the downside. Now, timing this is going to be incredibly difficult. We don't know how long it's going to take, blah, blah, blah. We could be talking 𝗲𝗖𝗔𝗡𝗘 hard fork. Lots of people speculate on that as we kind of approach it. The price moves up, comes up into this sweet spot between 48 and 51 cent. And then on the 22nd to sell the news event, price of Cardano goes down, right? That kind of thing. We've seen it with Ethereum. We'll see it with Cardano's ADA most likely. But again, if you want to speculate on price, that's kind of what you're going to look at. However, if you're super long term in kind of ADA, and you're thinking about, okay, well, I want to hold ADA, I just want to delegate it, I want to stake it, then check out the cheeky Cardano pool under the ticker 𝗕𝗘. I think there's also links and stuff in the description below for that. You can delegate to our pool and earn a nice juicy passive income that way. And all you really need to do is dollar cost average into ADA as you have these good healthy pullbacks, right? So we can see that this is a good healthy pullback right here. We can see it's at the end of a structure. If you're going to dollar cost average, somewhere between 44 and 45 cents seems reasonable. We move up. We don't dollar cost average on the way up, obviously. We pull to the downside. And obviously, as we start to break down to these lower ranges where I estimate the real kind of accumulation to be somewhere between 28 and 34 cent. Really, that's the long-term holding positions where we kind of heavily accumulate there, get it delegated, get it staked into a pool, and basically don't worry about it. Just hold it for a long period of time and you're going to be good. Because essentially, whilst we're moving up, we don't need to be actively trading in and out of cryptocurrency like we do in a bear market, for example. But essentially, during the bull run, we can just kind of sit back, have a good strategy about what we want to do, whether we want to sell, whether we just want to hold it long term, and essentially just kind of chill inside a staking pool. So a nice, easy passive income can be generated from just holding ADA. So looking for dollar cost averaging opportunities, 44 to 45 cent makes sense, 28 to 34 cent makes sense. Anything lower than that, of course, makes sense to just accumulate, get it delegated, and don't worry about it. Stress-free kind of way of approach to it. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. or buy, sell, trade, or anything like that. All I can do is tell you is basically what I kind of tend to do in the space, my own thoughts and opinions on the data and the charts, what it means, and all that kind of good stuff. And ultimately for Cardano, I haven't sold any. I've still got it. It's kind of there, staked, delegated, and earning nice passive incomes, right? And essentially that's kind of my approach to Cardano: just accumulate, hold it long term. The vision is there for the future of the crypto space, and I think Cardano's blockchain is going to be one of the key ones there. So we are obviously building on Cardano. We're doing various different things with Cardano, and yeah, I'm quite happy to just kind of hold it, dollar cost average where possible, get it delegated, get it staked, and earn passively from it. Guys, I'm going to leave the video right there. If you found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.